All right, let's jump right into a really powerful idea today. Finding strength in the cracks.
So, what if being broken could actually make you more beautiful? I mean, think about it. That question, it kind of goes against everything we're taught, right? We're told to hide our flaws, to fix what's broken until it looks perfect again. But what if there's another way to look at it? Well, there is another way, and it's captured beautifully in the ancient Japanese art of kintsugi. See, instead of just gluing a shattered bowl back together and, pretending it was never broken, the artisans who practice kintsugi do something amazing. They use the special lacquer mixed with powdered gold or even silver or platinum. The whole point isn't to hide the cracks. It's to highlight them, making them the most stunning part of the entire piece. And the philosophy behind this? It's just so profound. It basically says that the breakage and the repair, that's all part of the object's unique story. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And this is where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just about pottery, is it? It's a perfect metaphor for the human experience. Think about it. We all have our cracks. We all go through stuff that can feel, shattering. But just like that broken bowl, we get to choose how we see those experiences. We can see them as something that diminishes our value, or we can see them as something that adds depth, character, and a unique kind of beauty.
So, let's explore this idea a little deeper, starting with a man who endured some of the most unimaginable suffering you can think of.
This is psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. He survived 3 years in Nazi concentration camps, like Auschwitz. And in the middle of all that horror, he noticed something absolutely critical. The people who were most likely to survive, they weren't always the strongest physically. No, they were the ones who held on to a sense of purpose, some kind of meaning, a reason to keep going.
And he actually broke it down. He saw 3 main paths to finding this meaning. The first was in work, having a task to complete. For Frankl himself, it was the dream of rewriting a manuscript the Nazis had destroyed. The second path was love, caring for another person, or even just holding on to the memory of them. And the third, this one is maybe the most radical, was finding meaning in the suffering itself by choosing how you respond to it.
And that's really Frankl's whole point, isn't it? They could take everything from a person, their home, their family, their dignity, but there was one thing they couldn't take, the freedom to choose your own attitude. That internal freedom, he said, is untouchable. And that is where our true power lies.
So Frankl's incredible insight that suffering can actually have meaning paved the way for a modern psychological concept, post-traumatic growth. Okay, so what is post-traumatic growth, or PTG? It's this idea that people can experience really profound, positive changes after going through a crisis. But here's the super important part. The growth doesn't come from the trauma itself. Let's be clear, trauma is awful. The growth comes from the struggle with it. That whole process of having to rebuild how you see the world and how you see yourself.
And researchers have actually pinpointed 5 main areas where this kind of growth tends to show up. People often find a much greater appreciation for life. Their relationships with others become deeper, more meaningful. They discover a sense of personal strength they never knew they had. They start seeing new possibilities for their future. And many experience a big spiritual or existential change. And get this isn't some rare, unusual thing. Studies have found that up to 89% of trauma survivors report experiencing at least one of these forms of growth. That's just incredible, right? It's a real testament to our capacity to find meaning and transform even after the worst things happen.
Okay, so we can grow from trauma, but what if we could take it a step further? What if we could not just recover, but actually use shocks and stress to become fundamentally stronger than we were before?
Well, that brings us to this fascinating concept called anti-fragility. We hear the word resilience all the time, right? The ability to bounce back. But anti-fragility, that's something else entirely. See, a resilient thing gets hit, and if it survives, it stays the same. An anti-fragile thing gets hit, and it gets stronger.
The guy who came up with the term, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, puts it perfectly. The resilient just resists shocks, but the anti-fragile actually gets better.
Let me give you a metaphor. A resilient teacup is one that you drop and it doesn't break, it just stays a teacup. But your immune system, that's anti-fragile. It gets exposed to a virus, it fights it off, and it comes out stronger with new antibodies. It learned from the attack. It's like a tree in a storm. It's not just about surviving the wind, it's about using that wind to grow even deeper, stronger roots.
Remember during the early lockdowns when people in Italy were singing from their balconies? That is a perfect example of an anti-fragile response. They took this awful, isolating, stressful situation and used it to strengthen their community, to boost their spirits, to create something beautiful out of chaos. That right there is anti-fragility in action.
So we've talked about kintsugi, finding meaning, post-traumatic growth, and anti-fragility. What's the thread that ties all of this together? It's choice. It's our own personal power to frame what happens to us and to write our own story about it.
And that choice often boils down to this. Are you a victim or are you a survivor? The victim mindset is passive. It's being defined by what happened to you. But the survivor mindset, that's active. It's being defined by how you responded. You're taking control of the narrative.
It's a really important distinction, the difference between what happened to you and who you are. A survivor understands that. They say, yes, this terrible thing happened to me. It's part of my story, but it is not the whole story. It is not my identity.
And this circles us right back to Viktor Frankl's incredible insight. He said that between the thing that happens to you, the stimulus, and your reaction to it, there's a little space. And in that space, that's where all our power is. That's our freedom to choose. And in that choice, we find our growth.
Which, of course, brings us right back to that beautiful kintsugi bowl. Look, life is going to cause some cracks. That's just a given. We can't control that part. What we can control is the gold. We can choose what we use to mend those cracks.
So what is that gold? It's the meaning we find, just like Frankl talked about. It's the post-traumatic growth we experience. It's the anti-fragile strength we build. Those are the precious materials we can use to repair ourselves. And the result isn't just being back to normal. It's becoming something stronger, more beautiful, and totally unique.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. We've all got cracks, right? Scars from our own stories. The only question that really matters is, what gold are you going to use to fill them?